How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the House Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. And today we're going to have a good one for you. Let me start off with the proper introduction. This is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. And this is the place where we give you the knowledge and the tools to execute your dreams and visions. And I would like to welcome everyone in. Thank you guys for supporting our channel. Thank you guys for supporting our podcast. Thank you guys for, being a customer of our subsidiaries, all the companies that we have. We thank you guys for shopping with us, for sharing our content, and just being a part of our journey here at TSG Global Resource Management Group. And I would personally like to thank you as well as being the founder of that. So today we have a good one for you. This one is going to be called Small Business, Big Impact, Thriving in Competitive Markets. Once again, that's small business, big impact, thriving in competitive markets. And what we're going to go over, I'm going to give you guys 3 points. 3 points. This is some personal information that I learned as being a business owner, being a CEO, also being a founder for multiple companies. That strings from, let's say, real estate to retail, all the way to dog walking services. And yes, those companies are still active, but just being in different business sectors. So this is something that I want to share with you. A lot of times, we talk directly to the small business owner because I've been there, and a lot of my businesses are still considered small businesses. A lot of newer business entities that we have, let's say Summit Cove Auto Essentials. This is a attachment or a expansion of Summit Cove auto sales consulting that we have. We sell supercars, we sell regular cars, we will sell your car. If you need a car that needs to be sold, you can't find a buyer, we are basically a person that would take your car, put it on our lot, or we will do all the handiwork to make sure that you can sell your vehicle, or if you are looking for a vehicle. So we'll connect you to the right people as well. And that's what we do. But we have an attachment, which is Summit Cove Auto Essentials, which is our online store that sells the auto essentials after you sell your car, or after someone buys it. We do have promos and discounts tied with those two subsidiaries together. So basically what I'm saying, one of them is lucrative and the other one isn't. So even though it's an attachment, it is its own entity and it is considered a small business. So number one, we're going to talk identify and own your niche. Focus on really what sets your business apart. You have to use like your let's say your USP, let's say your unique selling proposition. You have to focus on what sets your business apart. There are too many businesses that are exactly the same. You know why? Because a lot of businesses are exactly the same. They're not really that creative. Now there are some creative businesses. The other day I was just walking down Manhattan. I think it was Third Avenue, Manhattan, and I seen a place that had like kimchi fries. Like I've never seen that before, so that's unique. But the core or the base of the restaurant was just like every other place. That was just like a hot item that they had. Now, if they could take that restaurant and make it every item a hot item with that serves traditional food, if they could flip that in some kind of way, it would make the entire restaurant in its entirety unique and different than every other restaurant. So, but they had traditional food like every other Korean restaurant, but they just had that one hot item, which is an eye catcher. But you don't want to eat that every day. You need to find a way to incorporate modern American food and incorporate that into a traditional dish. Like when we had Thompson Square Gardens Restaurant Company, what we would take two cultures and we would blend those cultures and customize a dish that no one's ever seen. So we would take something, let's say like we will have barbecue catfish. That's two kind of southern classics, but we will have a barbecue catfish sub, or we will have like let's say, the Alfredo, the 3 cheese Alfredo pork chop, grilled pork chop. But we put that in Alfredo sauce, and serve it in its own unique way on a baguette, or on a croissant. It was just something that was different. So we would take those two. We also had the coconut milk poached cod, with the grilled shallots, So we took one tradition and we just added, and it also had a mango salsa with it. So we had the traditional cod, but we mixed the Caribbean salsa with it. So it's like two different cultures that we blended together. So you have to focus on what sets your business apart. You have to focus on your own USP, your unique selling proposition. What are you doing to sell? So I've seen like the what do they call them? The things that they have outside of the restaurant, not just basically the banners, but like the little crazy wind man, wind man outside of the restaurant. Sometimes that draws attention to your business, but it has to be something else that draws them in. Which you'll have to take time to strengthen your brand. But we're not talking about the brand. We're talking about somebody walking by, looking at your business, and the first thing that they see, what goes through their mind, which has to do with your brand, but what is eye-catching about the business? Not just a big wind man. The big wind man outside is catching attention, but that's entertainment for children. That's not really saying come in here and eat. That's not saying come in here and buy a car. That's not saying come in here and invest with us for real estate. So you have to find your own unique ways to market your business, like face to face, kind of, as I want to say, because word of mouth is the best marketing tool. A vouch from someone, I think that's the best. That's better than social media marketing. If you could get someone that could try your services and they can take that word of mouth and just spread it throughout the community, that today is still like the flyer that's stapled to the light post. This is like the best way to come in contact with new customers is through word of mouth. So, but just come up with your own unique selling proposition. What do you guys do? And one way you can kind of play with that is your pitch deck. Make a pitch deck. That pitch deck will encourage you or make you have to step up and come up with some of these things. So, serve a specific audience better than anyone else by understanding their exact needs. There's nothing worse than serving someone that you don't know their exact needs. There's a difference between one to sell something. I've met many businessmen that lied about the quality of a thing, the condition of a thing, just to get a sale. And what that does, it cripples your company's brand. Can you come back from that? Yes, you can. But once someone loses trust in your company, your product, or your services, more than likely it's hard to win that customer over. And you don't know what kind of, let's say, a chain reaction that has, what kind of smear campaign, depending on what would I say? Just depending on the customer. If this is a high value client, you really don't want to mess those things up. They have a lot of influence. They have a lot of backing. Just one smear campaign can basically kill your business. Talking of clients, but anyways, back. I'm sorry about that. I had a call. But serve a specific audience better than you serve anyone else. There has to be, what is your target market? Your target market is a specific group of people that you have taken the time out. You can do a SWOT analysis on other companies, but you need to do a SWOT analysis on your target market as well. What's the age group? What are some hobbies? That your target market are these individuals of this certain age group. Are they millennials? What are some activities that's common in the area that that they love to do? They love to exercise. They try to tie some of these things into your business if that's your target market. Try to have some kind of just, I want to say agreement, but feel the customer. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. I can't think of the word, but put yourself in the customer's shoes. If I was the customer and I lived in this certain part of town and this restaurant is close by, what would draw me in? What will make me want to try what you have? What are you offering that can be tailored to my needs? Like I said, we had a restaurant company that is still active to this day. Is Thompson Square Gardens Restaurant Company. Is active in New York City. But what we did was we specifically tailored some of our services to certain customers. Like we have a department that specifically tailors to disabled children, and it's be disabled children or children of C-suite executives. So if your child is disabled, has just any type of disability, with autism, Down syndrome, just things that make it difficult. We have professionals that tailor to that specific group of children, and we have in-house private chefs for the entire family as well. So make sure that you serve a specific customer in such a way that your services will be unforgettable. And and when your name comes up, or when your name is mentioned and someone mentions your brand, there is something attached to it that spells like this is a solid company. This company is valid, in all aspects. The aspects of the service, the customer service, and the aspect of them caring, being understanding. They really get to know their customers. So you want to keep that in mind as well. Try to understand the needs. Okay. Don't try to be everything for everyone. Specialize, then scale strategically. Not everyone is gonna like what you're bringing to the table. I'm gonna just tell you like that. I had a company when I first started off. I tried to serve everyone. When I mean serve everyone, I don't care if you were black, brown, crippled, crazy. I wanted to serve everyone, but the truth was that not everyone liked what I brought to the table. Not everyone liked my services. It was a specific group that I noticed that really liked my services. And this was when I first came into business. Like I didn't know anything about the business world. I just basically thought that, I have this skill set that I could, increase my skill set, bring value to this particular business sector. And once I worked for someone for a certain period of time, I felt like I could go on my own. But, you really need to get, you have to wear like every hat. So you really need to not only just think that this skill set is going to help me to create a business. You have to be the CEO. You have to be the CFO when you first start. Now, and I'm saying this when you first start off in entrepreneurship, for the simple fact that not everyone starts with supporters. If you have a group of supporters that's willing to follow you from a job that you worked at into a firm that you created yourself that have similar services, or you can take those clients and they'll become your clients when you start your own. That's great. But the truth is, a lot of people go into entrepreneurship, they do not have that backing. They don't have the capital. They just have a dream. They have a dream, a strategic plan, or a business plan, and a roadmap on how to get there. But they don't anticipate. They don't anticipate other things that can befall them along the journey. They don't anticipate the betrayal. They don't anticipate the mockery from those who are too much of a coward to go after their dreams. So you have those people that's attacking you every 5 seconds. They're critiquing everything that you're doing, but they're not bold enough to go and do it. They're critiquing, they're mocking everything that you're doing and you're striving for, but not everyone is going to understand your plan. They don't have the balls to go after their dreams. They're worried about what everyone else thinks. So you have to have mental toughness, but you also have to have the capacity, mental capacity and emotional intelligence to be able to take some criticism as well. Not everything is someone hating on you, but at the same time, you will attract a lot of chasing your dream, learning as you go, running, falling, dragging yourself, dragging yourself into work, creating that discipline. It's hard to create resilience, but if you're disciplined, you have to do what you don't like to do. But in the midst of this journey and trying to get to where you need to go, there will be betrayal. There will be mockery. There will be people that choose not to understand you. They don't want to understand you. They are just mad that you're doing something that they're not doing. So you have to be aware of all that. And will you come across some good people? Yeah, you'll come across some great people, great individuals that will be willing to help you to move to the next level. So number 2, once again, this title is Small Business, Big Impact, Thriving in Competitive Markets. We just went over number 1, identify and own your niche. Focus on what sets your business apart, your own USP, your unique selling proposition, serve a specific audience. Don't try to be everything for everyone. Number two is build brand trust and loyalty. Now, when people say build brand trust and loyalty, branding is basically like if someone says McDonald's, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And I want you to know, when you brand your company, not everyone is going to have the same thing come to mind. Someone's going to say they have the nastiest fries on planet Earth, and someone else is going to say they have the freshest fries on planet Earth. The vision that comes to mind when someone speaks of your company is all due to their experience while there. Will there be people that just reiterates what someone else says, or vomits some information about a company that someone else said without experiencing that company? Absolutely. But we are talking about customer loyalty. We're talking about building trust and loyalty with customers, and build a brand that is trustworthy and worth being loyal to. But it all happens with that first encounter. Will someone give you a second shot? Yeah, they'll give you a second shot, because one bad encounter doesn't fall on the entire business, but sometimes it does. So you can have the wrong encounter, or give the wrong advice, or maybe mess up some food, or mess up some numbers when dealing with services, or overcharge or undercharge, and it can totally run that customer off. But to build your brand trust and loyalty. So this is what I do to ensure that I build my brand trust and loyalty. All of my business operation systems, all the way down to the characteristics that a salesperson should have, that is in their responsibilities and tasks. It is your responsibility to cultivate this type of character for this position. I don't care sometimes if you have to fake it. You do not bring your attitude. Do not bring your attitude. It is in our business operations systems will force you. Well, not force you, but what I'm basically saying is the systems that we build naturally and unconsciously program employee behavior into cooperation of building a brand worth being trusted and being loyal to. So when someone reads let's say the responsibilities of the company, we have operation systems put in place that we're not attacking you. We're not attacking your skill set. What we're saying is this is the way that the company operates, and this is the model that we're using, and this is our bar. We're asking you to come meet the bar. If you want to raise it, that's fine. But this is where we are. This is this is the bar. You know what I mean? And these business operation systems make sure that you have impeccable service. Make sure that you have impeccable speech. Make sure that you have unforgettable encounters. If we have it with the customer, that is placed inside our business operation systems. If you go to McDonald's in Michigan, you're going to get the same Big Mac that you're going to get in Texas or New York. You know why? Because they have an operation system that's set in place to make sure that the Big Mac comes out the same exact way. First, you got to put the patty down. Then there's a certain type of bread. There's a certain way that you stack that burger. That same system is in, it's in Hawaii, and it's in Texas. There may be some differences based on the franchise, or who owns the franchise, or based on that economy, or based on who owns it. They have their own specific tailored ingredients. You may get a Big Mac with a pineapple just because of where Hawaii is. But what I'm saying is, the way that you build that Big Mac burger, there is a system set in place to make sure that if I was in Texas, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, I would get the same Big Mac. The same process is set in place for every company. So to make sure that you don't have to be there and micromanage your employees, you need to set a system in place that if I'm not here, the business will run as if I'm here talking to every customer, as if I'm talking to every. How would I approach a customer? How would I talk to a customer? So you want, and a lot of times I've done this before. I've had someone record an interaction with me and a customer on a live deal. No, this is a live deal. Maybe $20 million deal. So while we're conversating and I'm trying to close this deal, I had someone record this whole entire deal. And you know why? Because we watched this video over, and we step by step took out the good, the bad, the mistakes that I kind of messed up, or a stuttering, or I get a brain fart. But we actually tailored a system, a sales system based based off closing that deal. Will that work for everyone? It won't work for everyone, but this is a base. This is the base for everyone in sales. Now, I want you to take this. This is a system or a process that landed a deal. There were other many factors in place, and I don't want to. I want people to have their own unique personality, but with your own unique personality, this is a guideline to make sure that you can close deals. It depended on where where the client was from. What services were they looking for? So all those things, all those factors came into play as well. But what I'm saying is, we put together a system or a business model and put it into our operation systems for every salesperson. And we did that with other aspects of our business. Sometimes we will allow someone to, we will record someone building a certain recipe or product, and we will record that, and then we will put that into a system on how to build this specific brunch. So that makes sure that the company runs immaculate even when you're not there. Put systems in place. Don't train people, modify your systems. Basically what I'm saying, you have to train a person to a certain degree, but train them according to the system. So if they mess up, you're not talking about their work ethic. You're basically saying that you're not meeting the requirements that we have within our system. These are our values, our core values. This is our system. This is what we stand by, and we're asking you to come up to this standard. We're not saying that you're a bad worker. We're just saying you skipped some you skip some steps on our system. That's not how we clean our floor. We don't spot clean it. We do this, and you have to do it step by step. That's why the system is in place. And that way an employee doesn't feel like you're attacking them. They feel like that I just didn't do it according to the system. So don't manage people. You know what I mean? Develop people, but manage your systems. Manage your systems. The systems won't always work. You'll have to tweak those systems, but don't sit there and micromanage your, develop your people, develop them, but, use systems. Just make sure your systems are set in place. But yeah, build systems. We have systems. We have systems set in place. We build operation systems that naturally and unconsciously program the employee's behavior into the cooperation of building a brand worth trusting and being loyal to. And I call this, personally, I came up with this, business character systems. Business character systems. So it'd be BCS. So business character systems is that you incorporate the way someone's character should be while engaging with the customer. You incorporate that into a system. I don't care if it's stature. I don't care if it's smiling. I don't care if it's body posture. You incorporate those things into a system and saying, this is our standard. When you come, you make eye contact. When you come, this should be your body posture. So you incorporate these characteristics that you want your employees to have into a system. And that way, when they follow the system, it would unconsciously program them for success and program them and helping you to build a brand that's trustworthy. So those are business character systems. Another one is prioritize customer service and create unforgettable customer experiences, which everyone knows. If you don't know that, we just kind of went over that, kind of like first date, first impression type thing. This was a big one. Leverage social proof. Leverage your social proof, your reviews, testimonials, and your case studies. They go a long way. So they go a long way. If someone says that Chipotle burger is just too hot and you get multiple complaints, put some honey in the sauce. You know what I mean? Kind of balance it out. It's a good burger, but it's extremely too hot and it's not marketed as being a hot item. So, you know what I mean? A flaming hot item, so put some honey in it, put something to balance that out. So, so if those reviews, make sure that those reviews, those case studies, those testimonials, take those things serious. Like I said before, you cannot please everyone, but take things into consideration. If you try to please everyone, you're going to lose your vision and your dream of why you started that company to begin with. So make sure you stay inside of the guidelines of what you initially went for when you were that dreamer. When it wasn't off the ground, when you were building the foundation of that company, that vision that you had, the 10-year vision, 20-year vision, make sure that you do not lose that. Can you critique some things along the way and make it better and make the dream better? Yeah, of course. But do not lose your dream or the initial reason why you got into business or why you started entrepreneurship, because you're trying to please everyone. Before you know it, you will start off with the best ice cream truck. You had a vision for the best ice cream truck in all of New York City. And then after a couple complaints, now you're selling frozen yogurt. Like, you totally lost your brand. You totally changed up everything. You're selling frozen yogurt and gelato. When you had a vision to be the best ice cream place. Now you can still be the best ice cream place, ice cream parlor in New York City, and just add extra options. Add that gelato, add that frozen yogurt. But do not change your entire brand to try to make sure that you please everyone. It's not going to happen. Stay consistent, like we just talked about. Stay consistent in your branding messaging, your branding message, and values, online and offline. You know, there's as being an entrepreneur, being a CEO, this is something that no one tells you. You are the CEO in the face of your company while you're on the premises and when you're off the premises. That means this: you can't be the clean cut CEO, you know, and then after that, you know, you're being called you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but you're getting caught in a regular strip club like you don't know who you are. There are some things that you just cannot do. There are some things that you just cannot do. You have to be who you have to tailor your entire life around your position without losing yourself as well, because you would hate to lose that position. Or you have some, like a company that I started. Yeah, I was a CEO, but you have board members. Your board members can vote you out of your own company as CEO and place someone else there. So when you have board members and you're CEO of a company, they can say, well, we don't want you to run your own company anymore. We can vote for someone else to be the CEO of a company that you started, and that's yours. So when you have board members and you lose all the power. So, but what I'm saying is you have to understand that who you are in business and the value that you hold are pertaining to that company and pertaining to who you are at your core. You are that same person while you're on the premises of your business or not. You can't be a scumbag outside of business, and then you're Prince Harry in business. People, all the clients, the customers know you as just this prestige person, and then you get caught in a place. You have to tailor your entire lifestyle, discipline yourself around who you are as a business owner, a CEO. If you know what I mean? If you cannot be caught living a double life. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go and have fun and do whatever you need to do, but there needs to be a strategic way that you do that without ruining yourself as being the face of the company that you worked so hard and built from the ground up for the last 20 years. We don't need an image of someone that has all this loyalty, has gained the loyalty and trust of over 200 employees, and then you're out here like you're an entry-level employee who doesn't have that spotlight, that doesn't have that awareness or that visibility for who he is. Yeah, he can go out and drink all night long because he comes to work. He smells good and good hygiene, and he still make killing in sales or marketing. It's okay for him, but you cannot go out to a local regular bar and act like you're like you Dookie Howser. You know what I mean? You can't be out here like that, man. You can't be out here like, you know what I mean, like you're a rock star. There is a certain way that you need to move that still protects who you are, the branding of your company, and you yourself as being the face of the company. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give any suggestions, but what I'm going to say is whatever you want to do, I would suggest that when you go into business, find the right partner, the right wife, before you go into business, because if you don't and you're young, like I am, there are a lot of distractions. People know that you're the head of a company. People know certain things about you that you don't think that they know, and people will, or it could be competitors. Competitors will send a woman your way, send someone to get you distracted. So going into business, my suggestion is to find you someone that really believes in your dreams. You guys come up with a plan, some things that you guys understand, some non-negotiables. and build a legacy together, because it's hard being young, and there's so many options. You don't want to get caught in that position. You can totally ruin when you're open like that. A competitor can send someone, can watch you. I've had private investigators watch me. I've had someone send private investigators to try to figure out my lifestyle, to try to find out how they could knock me off of my pivot, how they could kill my dreams. Not because they didn't have more than me, because they were threatening. I'm at a lower level. Now these guys, they already have the money, they already have the influence, they already have the commercial real estate, the residential real estate. They already have all these things. But the thing is, if you threaten a certain aspect of someone's life, even without knowing it, your authenticity can threaten someone that has all these material things, but they're insecure. They didn't go through the process to get to where they are. It was they need more character development, or they need more emotional intelligence. They need to find a way to be solid in who they are authentically. There are a lot of rich men out there that are not authentic. They haven't found who they authentically are outside of running a company, what they truly do like. You know what I mean? So with you being bright, intelligent, with you having these big dreams, you can threaten someone unconsciously, and with the money and the resources that they have, they can they can you know what I mean. I'm not gonna say it, but they can send shots at you. Let's just say that they can deploy certain certain weapons towards you, either naturally, spiritually, or whatever. With the resources, they can deploy certain things against you, your business, and your dreams, because you are unconsciously a threat. So be aware of those things. We said stay consistent in your branding message and values, online and offline. Don't be one guy on Instagram, and then we go to your Facebook page, and then you're another person. Be the same person across all platforms. When you're at home alone, have some integrity, and when you're at work, be the same person. Am I saying that everyone should know everything about you, or you should be open and not keep some parts of yourself and reserve that for certain individuals who have earned those positions? I'm not saying that, but what I am saying, who you are at your core, be authentically you, and have integrity. That's what I'm saying. I'm not basically saying that you give yourself to everyone. You're just fully open to every attack. Some people earn certain aspects of your life. You unlock certain doors of who you are. I can tell an employee from India, I'm not going to say her name, but there's certain things that I can talk to her about, that I can trust her with, that I can't trust another employee with, or another C-suite executive. We can't have those conversations. But that other employee or that other business partner, what they've done is they've earned that trust to the point where I can open up a little bit more. So, but you still have to be careful. Number 3, this is the most important, just because of the times we live in. Number 3 is leveraging innovation and agility to compete. You have to leverage innovation, the creativity. Now, this is a cheat code. Now, I'm not saying plagiarize or steal anything from anyone, but sometimes you just need a spark or a flame. Find something that you like that someone else may be doing, but modify it or customize it to your own liking and to your own taste. It's some guy that he may runs a cigar shop. He runs a cigar shop, but you may run a barber shop that has attached a cigar shop to it with the lounge, that you can get your hair cut. You can go over here and get you a tuxedo or a nice suit, and then there's a lounge attached to that. You can get your hair cut, have some good laughs, go get you a cigar, and then there's a lounge, and there's another place. So we also had a concept called Gentleman's Tuxedo Lounge Barbershop. That was a concept that we had that had those 3 business entities collaborating within one building. So, but find out what you like. If you want to get your creativity flowing, there's so much inspiration all around you. What is your favorite artist doing? What is your favorite artist wearing? Take some of those ideas, and then customize and modify those ideas into your own authentic design or your own authentic creativity. So that's okay. It's not good if you see a guy, you want to start a hot dog stand. take that creativity of that's one way to make passive income. But you make the hot dogs that you make unique to yourself. You know what I mean? You wanna make a a flame broiled hot dog with a chipotle hot dog with some grilled shallots, and you know what I mean, a certain pineapple jalapeno cream sauce. If you want to kind of mix it up, or you want to just whatever. I remember we made some bacon cheeseburger street tacos. Like we just with one catering that we just playing with some things. Bacon cheeseburger street tacos with some. We've had Buddha bowls with candied bacon, like, you know what I mean? Just different things that we tried out that was actually a hit, people love. So whatever you do, take these ideas and these things that you love and whatever you're passionate about and make them uniquely your own. Don't just steal an idea from someone, but whatever you do, make it uniquely your own. But leverage innovation and agility to compete. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is some leveraging innovation. You're gonna need a team. You are not meant to even as the CEO and the visionary of your company or the owner of your company, you have to be the visionary, but you have to draw your creativity you have to draw from somewhere. You have to draw from somewhere. These things are not popping up out of nowhere. I don't care if it's meditation. I don't care if it's magazines. I don't care if it's television. I don't care if it's social media. You have to draw your creativity from somewhere. If it's from your passions, the things that you like, books that you read, it has to come from somewhere. Everything that has already been, but you just don't know about it. So, just draw your inspiration from somewhere, modify those things, and customize those things to your liking and to your taste, and share it with the world. Okay, embrace technology. This is another one, like automation, your analytics, and your digital marketing tools. Now, automation will help you to run a business as if you had a team. Now, it will free up a lot of time, especially with like ChatGPT and a lot of these AI tools. You could be a marketing king, queen, marketing phenomenon, with just some of these tools, and some of these platforms that's now available to us in the business world. So, what you want to do is you want to embrace that technology. I met an owner. He had a lot of customers. This is down south. This is around like Oklahoma City area, which I spoke about on another episode of our podcast. I knew this owner. He was so old-fashioned. He knew nothing about. They stayed in a small town. People have been going to that place for years. They don't like anything changed. They like the same chicken fried steak with the white gravy. They just like the same fish, fried catfish with no seasoning. I hate to say that, but okra, flavorless okra, but. That place was built on their brand loyalty was so strong because they had great customer service. It was like home when you went there. When you went there, you felt at home. You felt like you were around your family. Everyone was loving Southern hospitality. But that place was so good that if someone else, just say that the owner passed away and his son took it over, but he can embrace technology, that place would knock a lot of other restaurants and small businesses out of competition, probably within the surrounding counties, states. It was so good, and they had their word of mouth marketing was so impeccable. Right when you went to town, that would be the place they suggest. Did they have a Brahms? Yeah, they had a Brahms. They had a Checkers. They had a Five Guys. They had all these other places, but the locals in that place, that is the only place that really had such a dramatic word of mouth marketing. Like it was just like over the top. Like you would think that these people were over exaggerating, but they just loved that place because of how the atmosphere, the aura of that place, or that. So branding is everything, but I do believe that if his grandson or someone that takes over that place, if he embraces technology, automation, marketing that goes beyond just that local town, I believe those guys probably they would need more staff. Let me say that they would need a lot more staff. leveraging innovation and agility to compete. Be flexible. Quickly adapt to the market changes, the trends, and the customer's feedback. I always try to stay on top of trends that's going on, different trends. But I do not adapt my services or anything to every trend, because not every trend lines up with your brand. If there's a certain trend that's trending, but our brand, the core of our brand and our business mission doesn't line up with that trend, we don't adopt it. We don't adopt it. You guys can do that. We know it's a trend. We know it's Paris Fashion Week, but we don't incorporate that with this specific company or business. Now, you can keep it over there. We'll catch the next trend. So you don't want to ruin your branding because you're trying to keep up with each trend. One thing you can do is keep up with seasonal discounts, promotions, and seasonal services. Now, the seasons aren't going to change. Trends change. But you can incorporate the seasons for promotions, bundle packages. If you're a coffee shop, you can sell the same coffee, but this time now you have a pumpkin spice creamer with nutmeg and cinnamon, or now you have, now you have a French toast bagel, a French toast pumpkin spice bagel. So you have something that collaborates with the season, but do not adopt every trend, but adopt every season. Use every season that you have as a tool to bring more creativity, to bring a little bit more spunk to your business, no matter what it is. So be flexible, be quick to adapt to these market changes. And the last one is innovate your offerings based on value, not just price. Solve problems creatively. So the last one we have is that, innovate. I say customize a lot because we do a lot of customization, but innovate your offerings based on value, not just price. If someone told me how valuable a e-bike was, I would buy it for the value. But if you're just about pricing, this is the price. If you highlight the price, I'm not going to want to buy it. I'm going to feel like you're just trying to get money from me. But if you help me to understand the value of me having this item or the value of me having this service, what that's going to do is that's going to encourage me to spend my money. So what you want to do is you want to innovate your offerings based on the value, not just the price. What value does this bring to my life that I don't care what it is. They've marketed smoking, something that kills you, and they market it as if it had so much value that you weren't cool if you didn't smoke or you didn't vape. So, but they brought value, used value, or that way of value, some false advertising. But they created a picture or a vision of the value that something like that brings. It's an alternative to smoking. You want to get off of smoking, you can vape. So anything that you do, your services, your products, you have to paint a picture of how valuable it is to the customer. Not just, I can sell, just say I can sell little small garage sheds all day. But if I'm just telling you, man, they're only $60, you're just like, okay, I don't really need it. But if I help you to understand the value behind this product, if you need it or if you don't need it, you'll think, well, maybe 2 weeks from now I can, put some tools in it, or maybe 2 weeks from now I can, or maybe, so if I help you to understand the value of this product or these services, even if you don't need it, you will more than likely spend your money on it for the simple fact that you will create a situation or create a need for it because you understand how valuable it is. I don't need a basketball. But if someone tells me, man, this ball was, this is the finest leather, it's indoor, outdoor, this and that, I'm probably, man, depending on how you sell it to me, or help me to understand the value of it. It was made in Bangladesh. All the other basketballs are made somewhere else. Like, if you help me to understand the value, I'm going to think this is a valuable item. I'll probably start playing basketball next week. But if you help me to understand that, paint that picture of how valuable an item or service is, more than likely I'm going to spend my money on it. So, once again, this is the House of Business Podcast 2.0. The title of this episode is called Small Business, Big Impact, Thriving in Competitive Markets. We had a couple talk points. Number one is identify and own your niche. Number two is build brand trust and loyalty, and number three is leveraging innovation and agility to compete. You can, if you know, if this is well, if you made it this far, obviously you needed some of this information. But share this with any of your other business colleagues, any up and coming entrepreneurs, or any possible, if there's a potential that someone would like to become an entrepreneur, you can share this podcast with them. This is not really for seasoned vets in the game, but it's always good with a reminder. Sometimes a child can remind you, and you can be a seasoned vet, be in business 20 years, and be a multimillionaire. But sometimes a child can remind you life shouldn't be that serious. Learn how to be a child, because your creativity comes from your childlike persona, your childlike character, your childlike demeanor that gives you that license to be creative and to be hopeful and to be free. So, and to be not burdened down with all these aspects of life and the aspects of your business. So a child, man, even though you're a seasoned vet, multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, you've been doing this for the last 30 years, 20 years, 50 years. You can learn something from a child, man. Be childlike. Childlike behavior helps you. I didn't say be childish, but be childlike, man, and it helps to birth creativity. Man, we see y'all guys here, man. Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shows Caleb Thompson. See you back here. Peace.